He's in Virginia.
I think he's trying to work his way to the West Coast, is what he's saying.
But he's like, I'm going to do like a 1,800 mile.
I guess. I mean,
maybe we don't have details. Maybe like East Coast got hit hard and he hears it's better West.
Well, I'm wondering if he also reveals later if he's going to be like, I've heard that the West Coast is clear.
Yeah.
You know, because in these movies, like even like I Am Legend and all these other things, where it's like a big thing happens.
There's a safe zone. And,
exactly. Where it's like, if you're alive, come here.
Yeah, like that whole thing with The Walking Dead at the beginning. It's like France is the last holdout. Like everyone hears France being.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so maybe something like that. But I saw the picture you took with the thing in the sky. If you can see one of those again, get as low as you can. And if you see the blue light, do not let it shine on you. So that's actually kind of interesting.
Don't let it shine on you.
Don't let it shine on you, but also, Daniel also said get low, so maybe he is fine.
That's true. He could know.
Because if he was an imposter.
Why would he say no to the pictures then?
I don't know. To me, that doesn't make sense. Like, you just... To me, that felt stupid. It felt like a way of being like, oh, I just want to stir up the pot, and like, I don't know if we can trust him. I think there should have been a different way, because he was just so pressing before, to where now it only makes sense. So if he is still fine, it feels weird that he'd be like, come on, we don't have time for this. It's just like, answer the fucking question.
Yeah. So then somebody says, I'm so glad to hear from you. Are you okay? Daniel texted me saying to say hello too.
Yeah, I'm doing okay considering what I've been through.
Somebody says, why should I not let the blue light shine on me? What happened that makes you say that?
Well, when I got out, I saw someone running away. When the blue light shined on them, they, well, suffice to say, it wasn't pretty. I think it's kind of funny that he actually typed, shine on them, and they,
Suffice to say,
it wasn't pretty. It's almost like he's actually talking. It's almost
it's like when people do that
sigh.
thing. Yes, oh my gosh, that drives me crazy. They're all the time like, it's a specific kind of people on Twitter. All the time like, well, ... you know. Sigh, you know, ... like, no. What are you doing? You're putting sentence breaks in text. Quit that. So, it wasn't pretty, like, explain to me, I know he's doing that to build up tension, but it's like, Tucker would tell him, like, oh, he exploded. or whatever.
Or even saying something like, there's actually no way I can describe it.
They died.
He's like, he's became into a pulp.
Yeah.
It's hard to even describe.
He got condensed into the size
You can give a little bit while still, but yeah.
Alright. It's been a while though, but that's because of life. Life has been a bit stressful lately, but yeah. God. Anyway, I'm currently working on this animation. It's like the final clash between Lucci and Zoro. Wait, let me just do that. Put that there, and voila. Expand. There she is. But yeah, let me skip to the end. I'm currently working on this end bit right here. Working on that, and working on this part as well. What the hell is it? Skip. There it is. But yeah, working on that. Anyway. Hope you guys are okay. Oh my god, my voice just cracked. It's like 9 in the AM. And I should really be back to sleep because I don't have work today. I don't have shit to do. But I thought I would stream for a little bit.
Couple grocery stores, got some red Solo cups and cans, and we're making our way out there.
They were almost out.
Before I die, I want to hit the biggest wave. You surf too? Just starts like a weird bromance about surfing.
It is.
We gotta hit one. Yeah, we have to go down to Hawaii, hit the Maluku Maka
What
Maka.
movie is that where it's like, we gotta hit the wave or whatever? It's Keanu Reeves.
Thanks for the like.
Yeah, gotta hit that wave.
Alright, let me work on this now.
I almost said Chicken Run, Chicken Little. But that's... But it's because I was thinking of, what's the fucking penguin movie where he surfs and there's like a chicken? And Napoleon Dynamite voices the chicken.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
Chicken
Surf's Up.
Surf's.
That's Surf's Up.
Okay.
Chicken Little.
Well, I'm saying that I'm speaking of the fucking chicken.
Yeah.
I want.
Surf's Up is.
I also
like
want to
wings.
fact check immediately on the Schrodinger's cat thing that there was no cheese. I want to fact check somehow.
Can someone please look up?
Put it in the edit. I'm just saying I want justice on that.
Okay, but we're leaving this in regardless of what the solution
Okay, well,
is. You find
that's
it.
fine. Chicken Little and Surf's Up, kind of similar.
There's
Also,
one
Chicken
in
Little's on
Surf's
my
Up.
mind because I think that's an alien invasion movie.
The sky's falling, yeah, and it turns out it's aliens. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, my mind works in pretty
Let
interesting
me
ways.
see.
So there's 2
You guys
days
are
without any
saying-
updates, and then Tucker says on June 5th, just past the Virginia state line. Hoping my family will be okay. They said his family's just like being sucked up to the sky.
Yeah, I hope you guys are right.
I've got ever so faster now. I've got trust my soul over my mind. Well done. Well done, Lord. I'm sorry, I can't really even read properly. The dyslexia has really taken over. I really just woke up and started streaming. Let's go back here.
I'm going to the West Coast. What? Boy. Also, 2 days, and he's just now getting past the Virginia line. How fucking long is it going to take you to get to the West Coast, dude?
It depends. He can't take any main roads because he said earlier traffic, like there's a bunch of abandoned cars on him and stuff.
It also
like that.
seems like the gas stations aren't working.
Yeah. I assume he's bringing a bunch of gas.
Probably.
I'd say.
Cups full of gas.
Cups. The whole bag's just full of cups.
Just stacked on top of each other.
They're spilling everywhere every time it
Oh,
turns.
God.
Gas is getting low. Keeps falling out. If only someone made a container to hold gasoline
I wish there
in.
was like a plastic container I could put this in.
And preferably red, like my cups. Hoping my family will be okay.
Preferably red. If I could have preference, I would make them red.
I would make them red, perhaps with a black or yellow nozzle of some kind so I can see it in low light conditions, like right now. Hoping my family will be okay. They said they haven't seen anything out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Well, that goes back.
What?
That goes back to the whole thing where some people, for some reason, are like it's localized to a few people for some reason. So he's like contacting his family, but everything's normal with them. But for him,
But are we saying that the
blackout.
family's in Virginia, though?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know yet. So June 6th, Sun Vantage says the body's just gone. Didn't see what happened to it, but it's not in the street anymore. That same day, Tucker says, I took a chance and decided to drive through Indianapolis. That was a mistake. Crawling with headlights. June 8th, the water from this house is dark now. Thankfully, I filled up my bottles with clean water, but I won't be able to stay here much longer. Sun Vantage shows screenshots of text with Daniel, where all that the Sun Vantage says, Daniel, sorry for what I did, please respond. He does not need to be sorry. And then the same day, 20 hours later, still no response. The next day, June 11th, Tucker says,
Been hiding out, waiting for those to be clear. Slowly making progress.
because after that, there's 3 days.
What's kind of, and you know, we're reading this, but it is kind of interesting to have, if it's just like days passing and that's the one tweet you get, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Showing up in you're like, open the app or you're looking at it however, and you just see that one thing, you're like, oh shit, okay, he's still going.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's what was fun about it, because, like, I remember as this was happening, like, being like, any tweets today? No. Any tweets today? No. And then it's like 2 days later, it's like, that's the one tweet you get. It's like, yeah, right, okay, cool. Because there's always also the fear with these that, like, the creator will lose interest. Like,
Sure.
quit posting at some point.
Did that ever happen?
There were a couple of ARGs I remember that, like, got started and then just died
died off.
off. They just didn't have any followers, not a lot of attention. The Sun Vanished, like, day one blew up. As that video of the news with, like, the sun has gone out went super viral.
Oh,
I
okay.
remember everyone was all over it. So this one had a lot of traction. What's funny is right after I said, oh, I'll do the Sun Vanished, you do Tucker, the next, Nate has a note here that says Tucker disappears for over a month. So, great timing on me putting together that.
Schrodinger's cheese, my friend.
Alright, so anyway, after this, Tucker disappears for a month. Sun Vanish says, thankfully, there's been no activity to take note of. I'm worried about Tucker, though. And then, guys, someone's at the window. Next day, June 15th, says, it's too dark to make out anything. I just hear frantic knocking. It could be Daniel or it couldn't be. I guess there's only one way to find out, and there's a video tag. Oh, that's pretty cool.
The person on the outside was whispering the sun has vanished, right?
No, they said the sun is back.
They said the sun is back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. That's pretty fun. Yeah, I like too how you couldn't tell what it was for a minute. It took a second.
I thought I heard something, and I was like looking over, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I could have swore I heard like just a little murmuring. I like that. That's fun.
Sun is back. That's cool. I like that. So then he says they're still there at the window. I don't know what to do. Person is still standing at the window, but they aren't making noise anymore. Oh God, never mind. They're banging on the window now with this video attached. I think with their head. That's fun. It's just glass shattered. Are you laughing at something funny?
Just the end bit, just kind of funny. But the I do think all this stuff is super effective whenever it's just simply in his house.
Yeah.
You know,
the
lights and stuff are fun. I was gonna save this for later, but I almost feel like you would just save that for like later on.
You can have a hint of it at the beginning, like in the distance you see lights, and then it shows up
like
later.
This stuff, the build up is so nice.
The people whispering and the glass shattering and stuff like that's fun. That's good. And then he has a final tweet from that day where he says they're in the house now. They're looking for me with a picture attached of bare feet from underneath the doorway.
Probably fucking. You know what's fucked up about this? The immersion broken, dude.
Why?
Because I can tell with those gangly, long-ass fucking toes, that's definitely the sun vanished. Identical to his hands.
Those look kind of feminine.
Well, he looks like a slender boy. With his hands and stuff, long, lanky-ass fucking hands. Hello?
You really got freaked out by those hands.
Hello? Look at him! Have you seen him? And he's got the grays. He's got the grays feet.
I guarantee you the 7 women in our audience are going to love
his tootsies?
Hands. Yeah, no, not his tootsies, his hands.
Oh, his hands?
Those like hands. That's
the veiny hands. They have the finger rings.
Yeah, you guys like that.
It has that soundbite. What the fuck is that soundbite that's popular with a lot of cringe videos? It's like, say it again, I think I liked it. Say that again, I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That deal? With that deal? Like corpse husbandy kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
All those guys. Dream!
Exactly.
Like Dream.
I don't think Dream looks like that.
Dream people think he's cute, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean,
he's got the hands.
His thing wasn't. I don't think it was as explicit with like Corpse, because Corpse's whole thing was like, most of his stuff
happened to that
was
motherfucker? Where'd he go?
He
used to read creepypasties, right?
Yeah, he did. He did back in the day. He read a bunch of these.
Maybe he could be a guest on our show.
Well, he did music for a while and stuff like that, but I think he dipped from the internet after he got like a bunch of people kind of turned on him. I think a picture of his face got out. People were making fun of him and stuff, and then he dipped. But he dipped around the same time that was happening.
Dude, Corpse, you want to read a spooky story? Come on out, dude.
Yeah.
Would you bring him on with his sexy voice?
Yeah, I'd bring Corpse on with his sexy voice, I think.
Can you do a Corpse impression?
That was pretty good. That was about the right tone, I think.
Yeah, that was the same register.
Welcome to Creepcast.
Yes.
Is that what he would say if he was on Creepcast?
I feel like you've practiced in the mirror.
I'm Corpse Husband, and this is Creepcast.
I'm Corpse Husband, but I just got possessed by Isaiah.
This is Corpse Husband, and I'm on Creepcast now.
I feel like you've done this shirtless in your bathroom in the mirror.
Why? Why would you say that out loud? For the 7 women in the audience will remember that. Did you see them getting upset over that? The 7 women thing. There are a bunch of girls like, there's more than 7 of us.
Yeah, I mean, it's a meme. Yeah. And now there's the people have been saying there's the 7 sister cult.
7 sisters. I like
and
that.
that's sick. The 7 sisters.
You got 7.
For all of our girlies out there. Yes. That was pretty. I felt my soul kind of leave my body.
That was the reason you were that enthused, because it was a point of meanness to a point I brought up. That was counter to me. So I did not appreciate that. June 16th, he says, been hiding for 20 hours. It's such a long time to be hiding. I think they're gone. I need to check the house first. So he says, where should I check first? Another poll. Options are upstairs or downstairs. Upstairs wins 60%. So June 17th, he says, I'm heading upstairs. First pick. The person has definitely been up here. It is a picture of a bloody handprint across a wall. Okay,
100% sun vanished
You are
because
right.
of those fucking
Those
long-ass
that
fingers.
is insane.
Look at that.
That looks like...
Someone check his fucking DNA, dude. Because it is not going to be human.
That is the biggest hand I have ever... If either one of those is the pinky, that's terrifying.
This right here is his thumb.
There's no way.
It's
no.
He's got a long-ass thumb.
No, it's this. He's doing this. It's the top four. It's the top four, right? So if it's right or left hand, his thumb's off the wall to the side, right? No way his thumb's that skinny. And also because there's only 4 fingers there. So unless he's missing a finger.
I wouldn't throw anything, but I don't even think he has 4 fingers. I think he took his 3 fucking alien hand and he kind of combined them and it got botched.
Together at the same time. They're still there upstairs. Just snapped this before getting out of there. It's another.
Wait, so they're still up here? I'm telling. Look at that lanky motherfucker.
That's got to be a woman, I think.
This is 100% a guy.
You think that's a
lanky, tall man? I bet you this motherfucker's like 6'8". Hello?
He might be Slender Man.
Hello? Yeah. If this, honest, I'm not even joking. If this fucking goes into a Slender Man thing, I'm flipping the desk.
No, that is definitely a woman because we heard her whispering the sun's back.
That was a person outside, though.
Yeah, that was a woman. No, but then they smashed their head through the window. Now they're inside.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you're saying that this is the woman
that is the woman that's whispering the sun is back.
I still believe that it's him.
Okay, whatever.
I bet he's like, oh, it's the girl from outside, but it's just him taking a picture of himself.
I mean, that could be true, but in the story, it's
can I tell you something? I practice. I did it really, really good. What did you practice?
She was trying to track me down before, but now, even if I'm right in front of her, she doesn't react. Let me get another message, June 18th. I don't think she's a threat anymore. I locked her in the room where she's standing. June 19th. Holy shit, I woke up to find the door busted open. First off, before I go into the picture or the video here, how do you feel about the whole like holy shit, this just happened as a tweet, like him tweeting that versus it like as like an actual tweet? Does that feel weird that like in this moment you're like, oh, you know what I mean, and it just happened? Does that? I mean, I just thought of that and I was like, why the fuck is that? I can suspend my disbelief because it is the medium of the story. Sure, okay, that's fine. And if this was a scenario where they are still running the gambit that this could really be happening, Gregory88 did a decent job of that, where he'd be like, I'm going to do a thing. And then 8 hours later, he'd be like, past tense or whatever. This is what happened. Yeah. He would describe it. That was more believable because it was more grounded, at least initially, before we got to the end. Well, I like the idea of, it helps me at least, even in Gregory 88 with the fucking eggs and all that shit. At least it was something like, I'm going to do this, break, he went and did it, I'm going to tell you about it, yeah, like you just said. But it feels weird that during the action, you'd be like, let me tweet this out. I forgive it here because it is about giant aliens that are running spaceships and control lights. That's all fine. With choose your own adventure routes. And that's all fine to me. Yeah. I'm almost disassociating this even as like tweets then, and it's almost like you're in the room with him. Yeah, being like, I don't think of it as tweets at a certain point. It's just a medium of the story. Yeah. Is that our boy helping him out? I think it might be. They knew that he was there and that he didn't. And they still under the bed. It looked like. Yeah, they definitely knew that he was there. So I'm wondering. Reaching for him, heard a noise, runs outside. Then he says, after the car horn, I heard a gunshot. The sun vanished. Post some screenshots of text with Daniel. I found your Twitter. Is that you honking outside and the gunshot? Yep. Then, so we have the same problem as we had before. Can I trust you? At your 11th birthday party, I gave you a Batman Lego set. Is that good enough? Grab your stuff. Let's go. How hard was that to just do that the first time? Early. Maybe there was... I don't know. It could have been it could have been something that read like animosity of like, what, you think I'm one of them or something? I mean, that could have been the author's intention. It could have also have been maybe... I don't know, the entity or whatever controlled Danyon for a little bit and I don't know. But anyway, he posts this video next. So he is now in the car with Danyon. Like the shot of the guy. Is that a desert eagle? My gosh. Yeah, he's got a massive... Jesus. Oh, no, it's not. It's like a 1911 or something.
Also, I like how he doesn't say anything. He's just sitting there with his gun in his lap.
And he was just filming it as he ran in.
Way to go, asshole.
So, let's get out of here. So now, the sun vanishes with Danyon, right? And this is actually when I quit keeping up with it. Because that happened, and there was a 2-week hiatus, and I may have saw 1 or 2 things afterwards, but up until this point, I was keeping up with everything as it was posted.
So now you're going in blind now.
Now I'm going in blind. Okay. I don't know what happens after this. So 2 weeks later, July 7th, Sunvanish talks again and says, I'm finally back. There's so much that I have to catch you all up on. You won't believe what I've seen. After the last video I tweeted, Danyon and I drove a ways into the boonies to stay away from where all the activity is in town. He brought camping gear, so we stayed in a tent out of the woods for the last couple weeks. It wasn't long before we were out of range from any cell towers, but I made sure to still document anything significant. On our way out of town, we noticed what appeared to be a star in the sky, but almost as soon as I pulled my phone, the star disappeared. And then this is the video. So one singular star, as soon as it starts to be videoed, fades out. Then says the next day, July 8th, once we got far enough away where we couldn't see the city lights anymore, we set up camp. It was actually sort of peaceful for a bit, and it gave Danyon and I plenty of time to catch up. But unfortunately, there was some rising conflict between us. Danyon isn't a fan of me broadcasting my situation on the internet. He thinks it's dangerous. My philosophy is that I have a chance to reach out to other people who might be in the same situation as I am. But suffice to say, he hasn't been in a hurry to get back to reception. At this point, we have been arguing for days on what to do next until our decision was made for us. The storm rolled in, and we saw this. That actually looked really good.
That was fun.
For like what this is, like just a little Twitter ARG put together, like the shape floating across the sky. Yeah. That's fun. That's cool. So with the activity getting closer to our campsite, I finally convinced Danyon for us to pack up and drive toward the closest cell tower. Do I trust Danyon? Yes. Do I trust his judgment? I'm not so sure. July 12th, we've been camping out next to the cell tower. Danyon took the car and left a few hours ago to find more fuel to siphon. While Danyon's gone, I'm free to answer any questions you all have. Nate's note for us says the sun vanished as a short Q&A session, which is mostly not that important to the story, but gets one message from an account or character that will be important later. So this is the sun vanished saying, without knowing your situation, all I can say is to stay low. If you are inside, stay away from windows and doors. Good luck to you, to your survival. He shows screenshots of messages from a character named Nat. Nat has been making cursory posts since August 30th, where they've been compiling a survivor guide by taking messages from others dealing with the sun vanishing. This will be cut for brevity's sake, and they won't be brought up again until they begin interacting with our characters.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning of the story, we said that the sun vanished, Tucker, and Nat were going to be the 3 most important. So this is the first introduction to Nat.
So Nat, actually, Nat had been talking since August, but this is... Or sorry, no, we're talking in July. The next month, Nat will make survivors guides, like stay away, do this, and stuff. For the sake of brevity, for whatever that matters on the show, we're not going to be going through all of them, but just know that's like so Nat's biggest role. There's so many of these.
Well, I mean, like, this is a very consolidated thing, but they were like responding to tons of stuff. Like it just like as for the overarching story of us reading this now. It's just, we're just cutting it down.
There were Q&As he would do where it would be, I do remember some of this, where like the sun vanish would answer like dozens of questions about like, what's your name? Is your family okay? And it'd mostly be like, I don't know, maybe. And it would be us reading that for like a while.
I mean, there's just tons because it was so interactive. It's so easy to tweet out stuff.
Exactly, yeah. So, and it went on for years. So this is consolidated. But this is our first introduction to Nat if you want to read what she said.
Yeah, it says, hey, the sun vanished. I'm Nat. I've survived 2 months now thanks to the info you've accumulated and shown us. I owe you. I want to make a guide for survival, pick up where the news outlets left off, and I've been trying to collect anything I can from the other survivors out there and was wondering if you have any tips. Which is kind of a fun, I like the introduction to this kind of character because it lets him at least build in this world of It's almost like you know how many fucking zombie survival books there are.
Yes, yeah.
So it's like you get to kind of have that with this, which is
It's
cool.
that element, but it's for like an alien invasion.
Yeah.
Where the sun went.
Yeah.
Yeah. So July 13th, I just woke up and Danyan is still gone. And then he says no response in close to 12 hours and shows a screenshot of a text message he sent to Danyan that just says, "Where are you?" July 14th, I'm stuck here with no car, no gun, just a tent and the essentials. July 15th, I only...
Love One Piece forever. Let me just take the time to read what you've posted. 1 second. Let me just go back to YouTube. I'm really struggling with streaming right now, but I'll figure it out. All right, so I'm writing. A person in space clouds, like swirling color through dye, as he looked into the opening of yellow energy, he saw what he missed in his life. He missed out. He stares at the yellow light in the opening like it tears on the void of spec. Logic could open a new realm to realm from not just partnership where currently trust and powers. Faith without faith, you're stuck in the moral ground, in the mortal ground of limitations. He stares at a gaping void of what looks like melted like eyes, like holes stretching into got flashes, glitches, energy warring us. As he felt, with streams, he looks like. Damn, that's a lot. He looks like he ripped the seas beautifully. He says, everyone different. So, driving forces into the universe. He looks at the energy he saw, his past, present, future, and now. Surprises him since he presents his future. Surprise, okay. He stares at himself and he says, I knew. Damn, okay, you're writing a lot. Okay, pause for 1 second. So, I like the comments on what you got here. I like what you've said so far in terms of your writing. The story kind of makes sense. The story is very interesting. Let me keep reading. It says, he stares at himself and he says, I knew it was. Stammers chuckles as he is the possible stares him and said, in union we had chuckles. Okay, he stares at, reaches out, not with his body but his mind, imagination, and puts out his hands for them to shake his mind. He sends a signal to all his parts that they feel like a handshake. He just stares at his future self and said, what it's like when our dreams come true. Damn, his body is oh my god, this will look so good animated. I'm already thinking of what the characters are gonna look like. Yes, I've become one with awe. Damn, that was good. But you still need to, I feel like it still requires a bit more development. Obviously, you're just talking about it online to me, but I would like to see it in its full form, fully put together. Oh, my back.
Only have 38 hours of battery left if Danyan doesn't come back with a car.
It's been 2 days.
Yes,
At this point.
July 16th. Guys, we have a new problem. I can't see anything, but I can hear someone walking around my tent. And then, oh god, never mind. Now I can see with this video. Okay, I gotta say, I really like the aliens being depicted as flashing lights that make clicking noises. Something about it's so mechanical, so
simple.
weird. Yeah,
It's nice.
Yeah.
Also, too, we have got to put an epilepsy warning at the beginning of this fucking episode. Also, there, blue tent, was that a white light or was that a blue light?
That was a white light.
So it was a white light.
I'm pretty sure
I thought it was
light.
too. I couldn't tell because it just illuminated.
It's a white light,
That's
especially
fair.
because earlier, like, blue night, or I don't know if they said they don't make noise, but that was the white light noise for sure.
It's one that we've definitely heard, but I was wondering why would the white light be there if there's been... Well, I thought that they were attracted to flashlights and stuff, so maybe he was like looking around with it.
Yeah. Maybe
Also,
he's
to be
just
fair, his light is on.
That's true, on his camera. Yeah, that's true. Then says, this one is different from the others. It's just wandering aimlessly and flickering at random intervals. I'm fighting the urge to go check it out. I know it's too risky, but I only have 5 hours of battery left. Not a single sign of Daniel returning, and not much else to lose. And then he does a poll to either stay in the tent or investigate. Oh, they said yes. Okay, so they voted leave.
So he said, quickly snap this pic, and it's just a pretty ominous picture of a guy standing in some tall grass.
He says, I followed it into the crops to get a good look at it. The crops are about 6 to 7 feet high, so that gives you a good idea of how much taller it was. Oh, so that was like...
Huge.
It's like 13 feet tall. Yeah.
I mean, it's at least... I would say, 13 feet.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
July 17th, next day, he says, less than 2 hours of battery left. I'm powering down my phone for now. Wish me luck. Then, the sun vanished, disappears for 2.5 months.
Pretty crazy.
That's such a wild interval. But at the same time, Tucker's story picks back up. So then Tucker says,
hey everyone, sorry it's been so long. Review ask? No, I'm not really okay. The Church of the West Coast was unsuccessful. I couldn't get through Indianapolis. I haven't heard from my family. Says it twice. Maybe that's a typo. I don't know. Just caught up to the sun vanished situation. Wow, the sun vanished isn't safe. I'm not safe. Nobody is safe. You cannot trust anyone except yourself. Save yourself. I miss my family. So is Tucker's family in Virginia, or is he going to them in the West Coast?
I think he's going to them in the West Coast.
That's what I think.
I think that's what it is. That's why he's trying to travel to the West. Yeah. Tucker leaves as quickly as he came and goes dark for almost 3 months. So now, at the same time...
Which also, just to notice some of the times here, too, we're talking July 21st. The posts are becoming more sporadic. Because before it was daily, multiple times a day. Now we're going... First it was 3 days, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. Now that's 21st, and then the next post isn't until the 31st. So 10 days now, which I think is the longest span we've had between posts.
And after that, it says that on July 31st, it's the first time that Nat becomes important outside of world building. Now, should I try to message Tucker and interview him? And there's a yes or no poll, with yes winning by a landslide. So on August 6th, Nat posts their interview messages with Tucker.
Basically what it seems like here is that she's asking Tucker, it seems like Nat is asking Tucker questions to be like, is Tucker actually who he says he is? And he's posting. Because here, Nat says, why do you repeat certain words/phrases? Tucker says, excuse me. And then she says, you've been repeating certain words/phrases in your tweets and messages, usually a sign of drinking contaminated water. So that's the part we say, I haven't heard from my family. I haven't heard from my family.
Yes.
I thought it was a typo, but it was actually intentional.
And then you read over it a second, because again, we assumed it was a typo, but when he says that one thing where he was like, I miss my family. He says, that's interesting. It's a sign of drinking contaminated water.
Tucker says, I'm fine. It isn't that big of a problem.
I'll read Nat.
Good.
Okay, well, what about your family? What happened to them?
We are not talking about that. If you mention that again, I will block you. That's suspicious.
Okay. Have you seen what the strobe's headlights look like?
Kinda. I've been able to make out a silhouette of one of them.
What does it look like?
It kind of had the shape of a person, but definitely didn't move like a person.
Interesting. Can you elaborate? What did it move like?
I don't know. Not normal.
If it has the shape of a person, did you see its head?
I don't know.
Did it chase after you? How tall was it?
I don't know.
How did you get away?
I don't fucking know! When you're in the moment, fight or flight. You weren't thinking about this shit. You don't need these details. You just have to stay alive.
I'm sorry, but we just want to know what's going on.
Nat, have you ever been in a situation like I have? Have you ever had to run like your life depends on it? Because if you had, you'd understand how difficult it is to recall things. When you're in a situation like that, all you care about is one thing: survival.
You're right. I haven't been through something like that.
Nat, how old are you?
14. 14? Oh, no. All right. Well, the sun vanished, everyone. Enjoy. 14?
I'm telling you, because the person who is probably making this is probably around that age.
Right.
Hello? 100%. Some, 14-year-old gangly alien boy.
That explains a lot of, some of the...
The baseball bat, the cups,
the baseball
everything.
Bat, the
yes,
cups.
Absolutely.
The running into the car and the guy, has one gun.
It's just a bunch of teenagers, probably high schoolers even.
You're right,
It's probably a guy, too, who it's he's 17. He's probably made this. He's 17. He's like, oh, she's she's a little younger than I am. She's 14.
Yeah.
Whatever. And she's a curious, whatever, kid who's online, chronically online, blah, blah, blah. Right?
Because to him, 14 isn't comedically young for someone who's trying to put together a survival. Yeah,
But, you know, like when I was 14, I knew blah, blah, blah.
That's how you describe, like, a novice when you're 17.
Yeah.
A 14-year-old who now is like a child.
And Tucker's a fucking 38-year-old guy.
Yeah.
Who's like, I'm from Virginia.
It's like, I got to get back to my family across the country. How old are you? 16.
I get it. You're young and eager to obtain information because you have no idea what's really out there. But I promise you, if you experience things for yourself, you'd have a very different set of priorities. Where have you been staying this whole time? In your house?
Yeah.
Yeah. So cut me some slack, because you haven't been through what I have.
It's interesting, like, I can't tell if it's, like, the writing or part of the story that she's like, oh, well, like, why have you been repeating stuff? And he's like, girlie, you'll get it when you're my age, all right?
Yeah, exactly. Trust me. Go through a divorce and you'll be repeating a lot of stuff.
Yeah, try 2 lawsuits with 1 ex-wife. See what happens.
Listen, just give me some time. I'll come to you when I jog my memory about what I've seen, okay?
I like that that dog. That's the scariest thing I've seen so far.
Little pupper.
Gave me a heart attack.
And she just responds with okay.
Yep. And then Nat goes dark for 2 months.
Yeah, so now we're not getting, our next post isn't until September 30th, 2018, which is kind of interesting because I know that I think we said this at the beginning, but I mean, this thing only closed out, at least the last posts that we have here are up until 2023.
Yeah.
So now we're seeing these time jumps to where this story has stayed committed for so long, even if the posts are like, okay, well, you're not going to post for a month or however long.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while. So the Sun Vanish returns September 30th and says, I'm back. It's been a long time, but I'm back. I don't have much time. Extremely low battery, but there's a car close by. I can see it. And then says, from what I can tell, the car door is open and dinging, meaning the keys are still in the ignition. Sends a picture. You can see like the car lights out in the distance. That's a cool pic. And he says, oh God, it's warm here. There's a hot spot, but it's my one ticket to getting my phone charged and getting away from here. And then he posts this video. So it's him seeing the car out in the distance. What is this kid?
He's trying to charge. It's a charging kit for, I think, his
phone.
Yeah, I think so.
It also looked like it had a light on one, but maybe that's what he uses the light. Probably something he got off of. That's pretty menacing to see that car just open. Because it's been like months now, right?
Oh. My boy just got fucking Oppenheimered for real.
Yeah, you're running through the ones. It's like, oh, lay on the grass.
He's like, well, I have cancer.
Do you have to lay down?
I can't tell if he's hiding or not.
He's laying down in the grass.
But still, you're not supposed to be exposed to the light at all.
Well, it says get down, whatever.
Or just get low.
Maybe it's you're playing dead or something. Maybe that's why it works. So, yeah,
two full blast blue gamma rays in the back can't be good for you.
He's walking around, hearing something overhead, and then the blue light shine down. So I think the blue light definitely comes from the ships. That's what it looks like. You ready to meet God, kid?
I love how, what was the Slenderman videos we were watching again?
Like Marble Hornets?
I love how Marble Hornets coded it is. Yeah. Where it's like the family vehicle, like he's getting into like a Chevy Malibu or whatever.
His mom's car. It's like, Mom, can I go park this in the road? I won't drive it. I'll just like, just move it a little bit.
Hey, so I actually just got hit by 3 blasts of radiation. Is that bad?
Is that bad?
Mom?
Will I be okay, Mom?
His like eyes like drooping down. Like,
Mom? I feel weird.
Okay, so then on October 1st, so the next day, he says, I have to get to a colder location. I promise I'll explain everything. And then, all right, I'm not in a cold spot yet, but where I am will do for now. The ships have certain identifiable flight patterns. Yeah, so in the time he's been gone, he's learned some stuff. You can tell where they tread often by the temperature of the area, hot spots. Where they don't go as often is much more safe, cold spots. After I powered off my phone to save the last little bit of battery juice, some followers of the Twitter account figured out where I was and came to rescue me. They brought me to their shelter and had food and clean water, so I decided to live with them for about 2 months. Then, I think the flight patterns changed, and we got found out. And they didn't make it. That's why I've had to learn how to evade the ships on my own for the last few weeks or so. Okay, so that's interesting because it's like... Maybe the reason that there was a car parked out here is like there was like a group of people, like a shelter or something. Maybe that's one of their cars who tried to get away or something like that.
Oh, yeah,
Like there was an initial fallout where everyone's dead.
We didn't see the fallout, but that's just like one of the fallout. That's one of the people who rescued him.
It's one of the survivors, yeah. Next day he says, finally found a good cold spot. There's something that I've been avoiding talking about. When Daniel left, he said he would come back, but he never did. He basically left me for dead out there in the woods. I didn't really say anything here, but I was so angry at him, I couldn't believe I trusted him. But when I turned my phone back on, I got a flood of texts from him. He shows a picture of those texts.
Hey, bud, you haven't answered any of my calls, so I don't really know if you're going to get this or not. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. The way I treated you, even the few times where my mind was actually clear, wasn't fair to you. I shouldn't have left you here. I was scared and I was confused. I didn't know what else to do. Because of what I know, I got in trouble with some people. They're threatening to kill me if I don't tell them what they want to know. Do you remember when we used to be close? Before moving away and starting our own lives, we were happy. I know it's something everyone says. Those were simpler times, but they really were. Lol. There was so much stuff I never did and never said, but it's too late now. I had my chances to fess up again, and I'm so sorry. If I'm not a goner by the time you read this, blank attitude, blank longitude. I wish I was a better friend to you. Now, is this a suicide note, or is he, like, infected, you think?
I think he's infected. Well, he said the few times my mind was clear. I think maybe what happened, the reason he wasn't answering those messages earlier and stuff like that, is because he maybe didn't fully succumb to the red light, but I think he looked at it for a bit. And I think he got messed up. It did something to him, yeah. Which explains why I didn't answer the messages in the first place. And then the Sun Vanish says, I wish I had responded to Daniel earlier, and then some messages that he sent to Daniel said, hey, listen to me, you aren't a goner. You are not a goner. I'm going to come find you, okay? Please tell me if you're reading these. To no response.
I'm going to assume Daniel is probably dead.
He's dead. I think he's certainly... I mean, he's been gone for 2 months. Like, good luck. He then says his coordinates are really, really far away, but his coordinates are like up in the sky.
Daniel?
But I have to find him, even though I'm still upset at him for what he did. I can't leave him in whatever the hell situation he's gotten himself into. I can't move on with that on my conscience.
I mean, you'd have to assume that he's just gone.
He's dead.
Right? At what point is it just being stupid, you know?
When you turn your phone on and those messages are from a month ago.
And you're like, I gotta find him. From
2
months ago.
This is where he was 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I bet he's still there.
I bet he hasn't left and nothing's found him.
That didn't read like a creepy suicide note at all.
Absolutely not. He's fine.
Probably fine. 2 months, he's clear. He's been.
I bet that guy, okay.
Yeah, he's like, I got into cold plunging. I've never been so mentally clear before in my life.
This new crypto you really need to get in on.
You got to get in on it. It's called Blue Coin.
October 4th. There's something else that I haven't told you all. I neglected to mention it because I had no idea what I saw or heard, but now I have actual proof, and he shows a video.
U.S. military jet?
Military jet, or those ships can truck if they want to. It does sound like the audio is definitely that of a military jet, but it's something flying overhead. He says about a month ago I saw one of the ships flying nearby, and after a loud noise, it suddenly exploded and then came crashing down. I bet.
I like it. Yep, it's mine. The prices blow my mind. I feel so rich. I feel like a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire. I get it shopping like a billion.
I bet you're right. It is militaries, like, shooting them down or something. Again, War of the Worlds, like, people fighting back. Honestly, at the time, I thought I was hallucinating or something, but I'm fairly certain I wasn't. That's definitely not one of the ships. That's a jet. Yeah, you're right. 2 days later, Nat returns. Nat says, happy birthday to me, and posts a screenshot of Tucker finally responding to them.
Hey, kid. Glad to see you online again. I'm sorry for popping off like I did. I let my emotions get the best of me. You're doing a good thing here with your Twitter. Don't be afraid to keep broadcasting people's first-hand accounts and experiences.
So Tucker's also gone. That or he's a belligerent alcoholic.
In this situation, I think being an alcoholic is perfectly acceptable.
That would be fine.
In this world where...
I mean, what else?
What else do you fucking have, dude?
Solution? Yeah. You're by yourself, you're talking to a 14-year-old on Twitter.
Hey,
who is
kid.
the only person putting together information to help people.
Maybe in a different lifetime, kid. Maybe in a different lifetime.
That's it, Tucker. Tucker, what do you mean by that, Tucker?
And nothing, right? Nothing.
Where'd you say you were at again?
Yeah, where are you at? Hello?
I don't think...
Talk to me!
I don't think I should answer that question, Tucker. On October 8th, the Sun Vanish says, been slowly but surely making my way towards the coordinates. Bro. Hunter, I mean this with love. I would not come to anything you
Isaiah,
say.
I would never... I'm going to tell you this right now. I would fucking never... If I ever write a suicide note, I'm not going to tell you where it's going to be or anything. I'm just going to say... I'm probably just going to say, bye. I wouldn't give that to anybody, though, would I? Would you?
A suicide note?
Yeah, if you're like, this is where my body is.
Are we talking about in
If
real
you're up-
life
if
or
you're-
this specific scenario?
If you're up in anything, if you're like, I'm going to do it in the forest, would you be like, here's my longitude, latitude?
I think it changes. That may have been a suicide note. That may have also been like last known location. I don't know. But I think it changes
read
dramatically.
pretty heavily like he was going
Okay,
to
if that's what it is, then I don't think he would say anything. If that was a cry for help, I think he would have been like, or if like this is the last place I'm at, if I'm still alive.
Does
when
it
you get
also
this
not
message.
read like a trap?
Yes.
If that's the case, here's my
Well,
longitude,
yeah. Well, my
longitude.
theory is that he's half succumbing to the red light.
Anytime someone gives me fucking directions that are, I've had it happen a couple times, donut.
He does
Yeah.
that all the time.
And I was just like, so motherfucker, give me a street name.
He does that all the time.
You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I get it.
It's like where you live. It's like, okay. So I'm
Yeah,
now
he's
going to punch this in, find the address that's 3 feet away.
Exactly. And I'm always happy to see him. At the same time, like, if I get another fucking latitude, longitude address again, I'm going to be up a river.
I have buddies who do that too. They'll give me pins. They'll like drop a pin for a place. It's like, oh, Angie's Barbecue.
Yeah.
Real super.
Better drop that pin.
Whoa.
Hey,
big
I'm
deal.
here.
Oh, I'll meet you there at 1500 hours. Oh, whoa. It's like I'm in an alternate universe. Whoa,
I'm going to do Stolen Valor.
when did the general get here?
Aye, aye, Captain. Hoorah. So every time I get a text like that now, I'm just going to say, hoorah.
Just send the salute emoji over and over.
Yeah, if I think I would have to question a friendship if